So this is a new project that you haven't seen yet. This is the Palm Spring Tank by Leslie from Knit, California. And I am completely off gauge. So I am using Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. And this is the color Deep Sea Green. And the gauge for this I thought was completely insane. The pattern calls for a 3.5 millimeter needle, and that just doesn't work in my opinion with the cotton merino. So I went with a 3 millimeter, and I'm using the size extra large in this pattern to get me close to the medium size in this pattern. So because I'm so off gauge. And I think that's going to work out just fine. I'm also kind of basing this off of my Camso number 9 tank top that I made. I had pretty much the exact same gauge with the regular merino by Knitting for Olive, and I just picked a size that was like close to the stitch count in that pattern for this pattern, and I am shortening how many inches before I start my increases so that it's not too deep in the armhole. As you can see, this is very deep. So I may have messed up on that, but I'm hacking the pattern. I'll make it work. If I have to, I'll pick up here and do some short rows back and forth, joining around the outside of the or the inside of this armhole, and just build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up until I'm comfortable. I'm okay with a little side boob, but not like full boob. So let me tell you how this is constructed, because I think it's a little interesting. So starting with the back panel, you cast on these stitches here, and you just knit down for a set length of stitches for all sizes in a rectangle. And then once you get to the bottom of that rectangle, you start increasing, and you increase every single row, right side and wrong side, on this side and on this side. So it's 2 stitches per row every row until you get to the set amount of stitches that you need. From there, you come back to the top up here and cast on stitches. How do I show you this? I guess probably here is the best way to do this. So you cast on a small amount of stitches here, and you decrease until you get to your strap width, and then knit your strap. Then do some increasing, put these on hold, and then, or vice versa. I don't remember which one I did first. I think I did this one first. Yeah, I did do this one first because there's more ends. Do it on the other side, and then you cast on stitches here. I think the pattern called for backwards loop cast on. I almost never do that cast on. I think I'm doing something wrong when I do that cast on, because I always end up with like slack in my stitches. Give me 1 second. I always end up with slack in my stitches. So like at the end, when I knit all of my stitches, I have like a length of yarn that I don't need, and then I'm like frustrated by it. So I did the knitted cast on instead, and I mean that's working fine. It's still stretchy, but it does have some structure, which I like. So I did that, and then in the front you do a very similar thing to the back. It's not as long of a rectangle that you're making, but you knit and then you do your increases in the same way, where it's increasing every row, right side and wrong side, 2 stitches, one on this side, one on that side, and then you join in the round. So now I'm in the round. I'm using the needles that unscrew all the time, but fingers crossed I fixed them, because they're not unscrewing, knock on something. And I made a mark. Someone on my video said, mark which one's doing it and then switch them. So like if it was on the left side, move it to the right side, and like I put a Sharpie mark on one of them, and so far it's worked. I don't know why, but so far that's worked. So this is where we're at. This is just knitting in the round. This is perfect desk knitting. I took this to a bar to watch the World Cup Japan game the other day, yesterday, and yeah, it's just good, all around good, easy knitting. I was not a fan of the knitting for olive merino yarn when I was knitting the Camisole number 9, and I've got to say, once I washed it, it softened up. I liked it a lot more, but it was very splitty. I just, like, the overall working experience wasn't my favorite. I think it is made to be held with either their cotton or their silk or their, what is it? They have a mohair as well, I think. And I think it would work great for any of those on a looser gauge, but when you're knitting super tightly, I don't think it works all that well. But I will say that this cotton merino is lovely to work with. We'll see how it wears and how it washes, but right now I think this is my favorite like cotton blend of yarn I've ever used. So it's a really nice knitting experience, and unfortunately they don't have a ton of colors in that particular line, in the cotton merino line, but it's really, really nice to work with, and I would work with it again. But again, we'll see how it washes and wears and all that.
Hey everybody, so getting ready for 4th of July tonight, which means Nella and I will be driving around. She gets really stressed out about the fireworks, and I really don't like to drug her, but on 4th of July, I do give her a trazodone, and she gets really upset because she knows like something is going on, like she's being drugged. She gets really upset because she doesn't like that feeling. So we drive around because that calms her down and she can't really hear the boomies when we're in the car blasting music. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. But in the meantime, I do have quite a few hours before the sun goes down, so I wanted to check in and show you the progress I've made on my Palm Springs tank. So this is what she's looking like. So I got the edging done on both of the armholes, and I've picked up and started the neck. It's kind of a mess right now because I'm connected to both sides of this ball, but that's okay. So I am going to hopefully finish the neck today, and it should be fun. Get this done, and then really all the finishing that I'll have to do is just knit this body down, and that's I'm gonna need, that's what, 4 inches? I'm gonna probably need 8 more inches, because I like to tuck my tank tops into my pants, because generally I wear my tank tops with sweatpants around the house. That's like my uniform every day, except on days like today where it's so flipping hot.
Okay, so let's do an update on the Palm Springs tank. So far, I have finished all of the edging, which this looks really blown out. I'm hoping that's gonna block out nicely because right now that's not looking great. But it is gonna stretch, so we'll see. This is what it looks like. I have this much left of the second ball, so this went very far. This is maybe 5¼ inches. Actually, I have a ruler right here. Let's look. Oh, it's 6. So from not including the armhole, it's 6 inches almost. It's 5. Let's lay it down so we can get an accurate reading. It's like 5.75, 5-ish. I'll probably knit this to, like, I'd want the entire garment to be 14 inches. I do have a longer torso, so I'll probably knit to like 12.5, 13 inches. Then I'll put on the bottom hem, which I'm guessing is just a folded over. I haven't read ahead. I haven't finished any of the ends either. I woven all the ends that had to do with the edging, but I haven't woven in the ends from like picking up stitches and everything. I did make a mistake on this, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to tell, and I didn't care enough to rip back, but the strap width, like where I picked up my stitches for this side, did differ from where I picked up my stitches from here. So I do have half a stitch more on this side. And honestly, if someone notices that, they are standing way too close to me. So it's going to be fine. I will say there is puckering under the underarms, and I do not like that. I do think that when I'm wearing it, it's going to be stretched out. Nobody's going to notice. But I think this pickup rate under the underarm is not correct. So I'm not going to tell you what the pickup rate is, but I would pick up more stitches. So I would probably pick up, I'm telling you what I would do in the future, not what the pattern says. I would keep what the pattern says for the straight part up here all around the armhole, but when you get to the increase section, I would do probably 5 out of 6. I think so. 3 out of 4 or 5 out of 6, something like that. This is just not enough stitches right here. And I did notice that on the project photos when I went looking. I was like, is this a me issue because I've changed the gauge, or is this like an issue of like just pick up? And I do think that this has happened to quite a few people. So that's something to be aware of if you do want to knit this. I also would knit this at a tighter gauge. Even though I'm getting like 34 stitches per 4 inches, I think I would go even tighter, because it is, and now this is pre-blocked, so I may change my mind on this. I might go even denser than that. But so far, so good. This color is lovely. I am so excited to wear this, and it does fit really well. So coming along, I am knitting like, I don't know, 5 to 10 rows every day. So I'm going to get there eventually. It is 200 plus stitches in the round on 3mm needles. So it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's super easy, super mindless. I can do it while I do watch TV or am in a meeting or whatever, because it doesn't take any brain power. So check back in soon. Bye.
so this is the finished Palm Springs tank. And what do we think? Let me bring it up. So don't look too closely here. That's a bra issue. I desperately need a new bra, but it's too hard. It's too hard to find them. So this one's too small. The other one I have is way too big. So, but Palm Springs tank finished. Let me pull this out. My belly button is here, right here. So there's about 3.5 extra inches below it. Don't look too much at my back fat. Yay! Okay, so it's gonna sit there and it's gonna soak until I feel like taking it out, which could be 15 minutes to tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, so here we are in all our glory, tucked into my sweatpants, just like I said, and I am so happy. This is the bra that's too big for me, band-wise, so it like rides up, but I still think it's cute. It's fine. This is how it looks on me. Let me take this out. I like have woven in all my ends, but they're still attached because I just took this off the blocking mat. So this is how it looks from the back. It's laying, if I like stand up straight, it lays really nicely against my body. So I love this. I really do. I love this. I think it looks perfect. This is exactly what I want in a tank top, especially if I lose a couple pounds right here. I'm gonna feel so confident like wearing this out and about. I love the color. I love everything about it. I'm so happy that I made it like this, and I don't think it's see-through at all, even across my widest point. I might consider going down a needle size, but I think that this yarn really did bloom a little bit. So maybe I would go down to a 2.75 millimeter, but I don't think it needs to go to a 2.5. Pattern wise, I would rate this pattern a 4.5. While I didn't agree with, some of the choices that the designer made, the pattern itself is really well written. It's easy to follow. You can obviously make modifications for yourself if you're comfortable doing that, and I love my finished object. I'm so excited. So I will compare this and the camisole number 9 in my next podcast episode, so you guys can get like the gist of which one is for you. But if you're on the fence about knitting this, I recommend it. I really do. I'm super happy with this. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this video helped someone if they were on the fence about knitting this, and I will catch you in the next one.